Hey Frag fam, Corbin here again from Northwest Scent. So the House of Parfums de Marly seems to get a lot of love in the community. However, there is a lot of hate at the same time. Similar to Creed, people think it's kind of overdone, outplayed, and in some instances they even call it a clone house because there are some inspirations from Parfums de Marly that come from other fragrances. However, I'm going to be talking to you guys about a fragrance today that is a standalone. This is something completely unique from the house, and it is one of my favorite fragrances. Actually, I will wager that it is my favorite fragrance from the house. And no, it's not Leighton, and it's not Carlisle. So if you guys are interested in hearing about it, please stay tuned. But first, let's roll that intro. Alright, welcome back. So, like I said in the intro, we're talking about my favorite fragrance from Parfums de Marly today. It comes from their Middle Eastern themed line of fragrances, and it's called Habdan. So starting right off with the basics of the fragrance, the classification is an Oriental Vanilla, the perfumer is Guilami Flavigny, and yes, I know, I definitely just butchered that pronunciation, I'm sorry. And then the release year was 2013. Now transitioning over to the presentation side of things, we're going to start with the box, which I have right here. This is the 4.2 ounce size, which is 125 milliliters. It's a really nice looking box. Better than most from the house actually, because you got this nice reflective coating, looks really good. It's a black box with a gold contrast for the writing as well as the emblem. So again, here's that logo or emblem from the house. You have the house name, Parfums de Marly, and then the name of the fragrance. And then you got your sizing right here, which is in milliliters, and then your sizing in ounces. And then it has the royal essence, which all their boxes seem to have on them. On the back side, you have the concentration right here, and then the house information, and then some other random writing. And then of course on the top, you do have the top-down profile view of the cap, which is really cool. And then that's the presentation of the box. Now going over to the bottle, it looks very similar to the box in color scheme. You got again a nice black bottle with a gold contrast on the cap, and then the name of the fragrance itself. You also got your batch code information as well as the concentration and sizing as well as location of manufacturer, all located down here. So overall, a really nice presentation, and I think this is actually probably, at least in my collection, the best looking bottle that I have from this brand. Again, because of that really nice reflective coating, I think it looks really good. So a great presentation overall for this fragrance. So we're gonna dive into the scent next, but before we do that, I do wanna show you guys the atomizer, just so you guys can see how much juice it sprays. So let's get this on camera. And as you guys can see, it does spray a lot of juice. It's not a controlled atomizer or pressurized atomizer. You basically just get one decent sized puff every time you press it. Nonetheless, it does spray quite a bit of juice, and it's in a more concentrated cone size. That way, you do get more juice per area. You're not blowing a bunch past your wrist or wherever you're spraying. So for that reason, I really do like these atomizers quite a bit. So now we're gonna finally get into the scent. I will put the note breakdown on screen for you guys to check out, and now let's talk about it. So when you first spray this thing on, the noticeable notes for me at least are the green apple and then the caramel. It comes across like a very realistic green apple. It is synthetic because you can't actually extract any kind of fragrance oil from green apple or any kind of apple in general. But again, it does come across like a crisp, slightly tart, fresh green apple. I really love it a lot. And then you also get that caramel note. Again, it's a sweet, creamy caramel, very realistic. So in that instance, it kind of does give you a apple pie vibe in a way. There is saffron there that comes across more spicy and less cherry sweet. So I think the combination of those three is kind of what contributes to that apple pie vibe. But this is not like Wajan, which also does get compared to to apple pie. You also get some woody notes and a little bit of myrrh in the opening. To me, the woody notes actually do smell like oud, but it's a very tame oud, kind of more just like a darker wood, nothing skanky, but it doesn't come across like any kind of normal woody accord. And then again, that myrrh, in this case, it comes across across a little bit balsamic, so it adds a slightly salty, kind of deep resinous touch to this fragrance. So again, this thing comes across really edible, and then a little bit dark and woody, and a little bit resinous, and then balsamic. I love the opening of this fragrance, is super appealing. So now we're gonna get into the mid and base of the fragrance, but before we do that, I do have a quick announcement for you guys. I teamed up with Venba Fragrance for this video to give you guys a nice little promotion. So from now until the 28th of February, which is a Sunday, there's gonna be a coupon code, which I'll put on screen right here. It's just for you guys, and it's only for Habdan, the fragrance we're reviewing. It will give you guys $5 off Habdan at checkout. Just put the coupon code into the coupon box, and you guys will be good to go. I'm not getting any kind of pay cut from this. We're just doing this for you guys, so you have easier access, more access to trying Habdan. So if you guys want to check out this fragrance, use that coupon code at Venba and get this fragrance for a really, really good deal. So now that we got that promotion announcement out of the way, let's talk about the mid and base of the fragrance. So for me, this fragrance doesn't honestly develop or change a ton on my skin. It is kind of linear in a way, but it does change a little bit. So the saffron note from the opening, which adds that spiciness, kind of goes away for me. And then the rose rises up a little bit more. And it's not a feminine smelling rose, at least to me. It comes across a little bit dark and jammy. I think it adds a nice twist to this fragrance. So it's not overly floral. So if you do not like strong floral fragrances, don't worry. Again, it just adds a nice nuance or twist. You still get that crisp green apple. You still get that caramel. You still get those woody notes that kind of smell like oud. And then of course that myrrh, which kind of gives you that balsamic resinous kind of flavor in the fragrance. Overall, it is a really nice fragrance. I think this thing smells absolutely amazing. It is absolutely my favorite fragrance from this house. I definitely recommend you guys check this one out. At least try a sample, check it out for yourself. I do not think this is as safe of a blind buy as something like Leighton or even Carlisle necessarily, but it is really appealing. And for me, this thing creates scent memories really easily. I can remember most of the times that I've worn this fragrance. I can remember the first time I wore it. It literally takes me to those places because this just has that unique, warming, kind of cozy scent profile that really can kind of anchor you in those moments. So every time I smell this fragrance, those just come back to me. And that's definitely part of the reason why I love this fragrance. So I definitely recommend you guys check this one out. Now moving on to the performance and then the pricing of this fragrance. For me, I get about 8 to 10 hours of performance with about 3-ish hours of good projection. It creates a really nice sillage. This stuff pushes out quite a bit. It can definitely fill a room, so watch your sprays with this one. It's no joke. And then again, that longevity makes this thing quite beast mode as well. As far as the pricing goes, on the website from Parfums de Marly, this thing retails for $335 US. So it is a little bit more expensive than their average fragrance. I believe the average cost for the full size 125 milliliter is $310 US. That's for the fragrances like Leighton, Herod, Percival. So this is in a little bit of a higher end, more exclusive line from the house. But again, if you guys use the link in the description to Venba Fragrance, even before the discount code, it's less than $200. And then using that coupon code, it's gonna take you down even a little bit more. So you can definitely get this thing quite discounted, and I think it's definitely worth it at those discounted prices. Well, there you guys go. That's my review of Parfums de Marly Habdan. I absolutely love this fragrance, in case you guys couldn't tell from this review. Even if you don't want to commit to the full bottle on a blind buy, which I totally understand, I would definitely recommend at least getting a decant or sample to try this fragrance for yourselves. I think it will really catch a lot of you off guard on how good this fragrance is, and it might even become a staple in your collection like it has become in mine. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate dropping a like just to show your support, and then that way more people can see my videos on YouTube. And while you're down there doing that, if you want to write a comment just letting me know your thoughts, as well as some new video ideas and topics, that would be great too. And since you're down there doing all that stuff, if you guys haven't already, if you could subscribe and hit the bell notification, that would be great too. That way you stay up to date on new videos whenever they get released going forward. But with all that out of the way, that's all I really have for you guys today. So I hope you have a good one. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, and smell great.